A Florida manager stole $150,000 from the business. A Dunkin' Donuts employee gave a Florida man a free coffee, who then threw it in her face. A Florida man claiming to be Jesus Christ caused commotion inside a Target, and a Florida woman was caught poisoning her boyfriend's tea with bleach. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the galaxy, and the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Fridays. That's right, all the weird news this week from the state of Florida only. Here we go. Buckle up. Whee! A manager at a Florida Dunkin' Donuts stole a lot of money. According to the police, a former manager at a Largo Dunkin' Donuts has been arrested on a charge that she stole more than $150,000 from the Dunkin' Donuts business at which she was the manager. Molly Christine Cox is the name of this lovely Florida woman. She is 50 years old and facing a felony grand theft charge. She was arrested on Thursday and booked at the Pinellas County Jail. Guys, shout out to Pinellas County. It says here Molly left her job after an audit and was currently working at a Burger King at the time. Oh, check those documents at the Burger King. Check the register at the Burger King, bro. There might be some missing coins. Molly was the manager at the Dunkins for several years, during which the thefts occurred. So this was a lot of money over several years. The store conducted an audit, and they noticed that they had a payroll shortage, and that's when police investigators got involved. The investigation and the audit discovered that a large number of deposits were missing that were supposed to have been made at a Wells Fargo bank. Apparently, Molly Cox was the only person responsible for making deposits at that time at the Dunkin' Donuts, and she was shown on surveillance video leaving with the deposits, but they didn't go to that bank. Where did they go? Well, police subpoenaed Molly's bank accounts and, surprise, found a significant amount of deposits into her own bank accounts from sources other than payroll. Oh, where did that money come from, Molly? The affidavit states that Molly admitted to management that she took some of the deposits, but not all of them before leaving her job. I didn't take all of them, guys. I mean, give me some credit here. I only took about, 17. I mean, considering I was there 7 years, I could have taken way more than that, guys. So, Sure, I'm doing some Florida woman activities, but I'm not going full Florida. It says here, in one of her interviews with the detectives, initially, Molly denied committing the thefts and said that extra income was from her boyfriend's narcotics sales. Way to throw him under the bus, Molly. Oh, and that makes it okay. No, those deposits were from an entirely different crime, officers. So, we're good, right? I mean, I'm off the hook, right? Your Honor, my client, Molly, could never have stolen from her employer. She was much too busy selling drugs with her boyfriend. The defense rests, Your Honor. Well, one of the things we're learning in this piece is that the managers at fast food enterprises in Florida aren't that bright. I mean, to blame this money on your boyfriend's drug dealings. I mean, you could have said so many other things that would have been better than that. And listen, I've written down a few that would have been better than that. Here we go. Molly could have said, hey, I found buried pirate treasure. Because pirates were kind of operating around the Caribbean and Florida, right? She could have said, yeah, I was a stripper in the 90s, and this is my retirement funds from said stripping enterprise. I keep saying the word enterprise to show off how my big vocabulary. She could have said, officers, a Saudi prince gave me that money after I sent him $3,000. She could have said, I prayed to Jesus and the money appeared. Praise Jesus. You got to know when to Florida, know when to Florida, and know when to Florida, and know when to Florida. A customer threw a hot drink in the face of a Florida Dunkin' Donuts employee. Check it out, guys. A second Dunkin' Donuts related story. Because Florida runs on Dunkins. An unidentified customer received an extra cup of coffee free of charge from an employee at a Florida Dunkin' Donuts. How lovely. I'd imagine if you went into a Florida Dunkin' Donuts, the last thing you would expect is the employees to give you anything for free. Although maybe they give you something if you don't assault them, kind of as a reward. Hey, here you go, a free donut because you didn't attack me with a machete. Anyways, this unidentified customer received the free cup of coffee, and then proceeded to throw it back at the server, according to the police. Well, sounds like this individual doesn't appreciate free things in life. And here you go, sir. Here's your complimentary cup of... Oh, my face! My face, man! Yeah, that's what you get for offering me free stuff. I told you I don't like free things. Now, here's some details according to the Newport Richey Police Department. They say on Sunday at 8:45 a.m., a Dunkin' Donuts worker offered this customer a complimentary coffee. But things took a very violent and Florida turn when the customer unexpectedly hurled the hot beverage into the face of the employee. Photos released by the police indicate this occurred at the drive-thru. They say, quote, the suspect became irate and threw the hot cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee at the employee's face through the drive-thru, resulting in her sustained blisters on her face. This is just unbelievable. I've said this many times on the podcast. Can you imagine being a fast food employee in the state of Florida? They get burning hot beverages tossed at their heads, but not a living wage, sadly. It says here the suspect, described as driving a silver four-door SUV, fled the scene before law enforcement could arrive. The local police have issued a plea to the public urging anyone with information about the suspect's identity to come forward and assist in their investigation. They haven't even caught this fella. Horrible. It says here the motive behind the attack remains unclear. Yeah, I said up top, perhaps he doesn't like free things. Nothing justifies throwing free coffee at anybody, I would say. Unless, of course, it's instant. And then you're like, get out of here with that instant coffee. What's wrong with you? Drink instant coffee. What do you think this is, huh? I want some drip, bro. Give me some real drip. It says, although the authorities have not linked this incident to any specific cause, it is reminiscent of a prank that gained popularity in the mid-2000s, commonly known as the fire in the hole. Now, I've never heard of that prank. This is pre-TikTok, thank God. Apparently, this viral prank called Fire in the Hole saw a driver enter a fast food drive-thru, order a soft drink, yell, fire in the hole, and then throw the drink back at the server before driving away. Well, that's horrible. At least it's not hot coffee. Still a terrible thing to do to an employee. Chuck a whole entire soda through the drive-thru window at them. In August 2004, it says 4 17-year-old boys were arrested after a drive-thru server in Pennsylvania was injured after being bombarded with a drink mixed with hot sauce. And in 2008, 2 teenagers from Florida were charged with battery and mischief after pulling the same drive-thru prank. I'll tell you right now, man, if I'm managing any sort of fast food enterprise, I did it again, in Florida, I'm giving all of my employees like hazmat suits and hockey gear. Just really dress them head to toe in as much safety equipment as possible to protect them from any possible Florida man attacks. You have to, bro. You have to. A Florida man claiming to be Jesus Christ caused a commotion inside a store. A Florida man who claimed to be Jesus, not the first, by the way, was arrested following incidents of threats and even assaulting patrons within a Coral Springs Target store. The Coral Springs Police Department responded to a customer disturbance at the Target store. The disturbance described a man claiming to be Jesus Christ who happened to poop his pants inside the store and then attempted to fight people. Wow, holy crap. I guess you could call that a religious movement because he said he was Jesus and he pooped his pants, guys. Religious movement. Do you understand what I'm doing? Okay, all right, I'll stop. And on the 4th day, he crapped his pants and he saw that it was good. On the 5th day, they tested his blood alcohol level at 5.2, and he saw that it was good. And now it's time for the details. Upon arrival, police encountered a Florida man, later identified as Mr. James Sweeney, age 48. James showed apparent signs of alcohol impairment, clearly disrupting the normal business flow of the store. James was yelling at patrons, staff, and customers as well. According to the report, James attempted to strike employees and customers and showed extreme hostility towards anyone in his vicinity. The situation worsened when Sweeney refused to leave the premises. Upon arrival, law enforcement officers encountered James displaying clear signs of impairment, posing a danger to both the people present and the store's property as well. The incident was witnessed by patrons, including, sadly, children. Once the police took the Florida man into custody, James reportedly kicked an officer in the groin, attempted to spit at a sergeant, and loudly used some derogatory racial slurs loud enough that not just staff, but other individuals such as patients could hear him. He also made threats against the sergeant's wife and insulted his wife as well. Well, it goes without saying, if you're making threats against someone's wife, you're kind of insulting them. The discovery of a mostly consumed 1.75-liter bottle of Skol vodka in his backpack confirmed alcohol played a significant role in James's behavior in that Target store. Well, God works in mysterious ways, guys. And for millennia, we've been trying to interpret the messages that we get from up above, haven't we? Many books have been written that claim to be the direct words of gods, many gods. A lot of times, gods instruct you to do something very nice, like feed the hungry and clothe the naked. Other times, God tells you to crap your pants in a Target.
Yay!
A Florida woman poisoned her boyfriend's drink with bleach. A Southwest Miami-Dade Florida man sat down for a meal and took a hearty swig of his tea, only to discover that his drink was flavored mainly of highly concentrated bleach. Not something you want to drink. Authorities claim his live-in girlfriend of 3 years is responsible for the bleach in the tea. And they arrested Yvette Diaz, age 49. They said she attempted the poisoning at the couple's home on Southwest 158th Place. According to the arrest report, at about 5 p.m., the victim had decided to make himself a meal and some tea. Police said he briefly stepped out to make a phone call, leaving his girlfriend alone in the home with the meal and the tea. The report states that after finishing his call, he returned to sit down and eat with his girlfriend at the table. Police said he offered her a bite of his tortilla meal. She accepted. How nice. When she exclaimed how spicy it was, he offered her his cup of tea, and she adamantly declined. Dun, dun, dun. First clue. Police say the victim then himself took a large gulp of the tea, and his throat immediately started to burn. He claims he also noticed a strong smell of bleach emanating from the cup. The victim immediately poured the tea into the sink, at which time he saw the remnants of a concentrated bleach tablet he uses for dissolving into gallons of water. He turned to Diaz and stated, quote, "There's bleach in this drink. Did you put bleach in my drink?" According to the police report, Diaz, the girlfriend, replied with, quote, "I thought it was sugar." I thought it was sugar. Wow, what a pathetic attempt to escape from a possible murder charge. The police have in their notes here that it should be noted in the home, the sugar in powder form is kept in an upper kitchen cabinet, while the concentrated chlorine tablet form of bleach is kept under the sink. Typical. Says here the victim was taken to the Homestead Hospital for treatment. As for Diaz, well, she's in some big trouble here. It says under Florida law, a person who introduces, adds, or mingles any poison, bacterium, radioactive material, virus, or chemical compound with food, drink, medicine, or any product designed to be ingested, consumed, or applied to the body with intent to kill or injure another individual commits a first-degree felony, a crime punishable by up to 30 years in prison upon conviction. But laws, guys, laws, come on, am I right? Florida man don't care about laws. Florida woman don't care about laws. Now. Well, this Florida love story ended as most of them do. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see if they get back together. Highway to the Florida. I'm gonna take a highway to the Florida. Better have insurance.
Yay!
Hello, my friends and loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for sharing this Florida Friday episode with me. And if you happen to send me some Florida stories the past few days, I want to thank you from the bottom of my core. You can always email me articles to funnyjones@gmail.com. You can even write me a lovely email, such as Octavia just did. Yes, Octavia Wright. She wrote me a lovely email. She said, "Hello, it's Octavia. I'm a female in the U.S. I was introduced to Weird AF News from my friend, and since then I've been listening for a couple of months. You're the only podcast I listen to, Jonesy. I don't care about normal news. I get that from other people. Anyways, you always cheer me up. I either think WTF or laugh like crazy from your awesome sense of humor. Keep doing a great job and good luck with your life, man. P.S. It took some courage to email you, being shy and all." Well, look at that. All right, Octavia. Well, we want to commend you for breaking through your shyness and writing me this amazing email. And I just want you to know how grateful I am that you did that, because it made me smile. It made me really happy to receive your email. I really appreciate that. It's emails like this that just make me feel so great about what I'm doing here. If people enjoy this, I find it hard to believe that so many people enjoy it, but they do apparently. And so when I get an email like this, I'm usually surprised, but more importantly, I'm very touched. So thank you so much, Octavia, for writing that. I appreciate that, and please stay in touch. In addition to the email, you guys can always call the show as well. We have a voicemail here. It's 646-450-2012. Feel free to leave a message. You can follow me on Instagram @FunnyJones if you'd like to see what I'm up to in my stand-up comedy career. This weekend, I have shows in Hollywood, Long Beach, and Covina. So all of that information is on my Instagram. So if you're in the Southern California area, just go to my Instagram @FunnyJones. You can find all the information on those shows. If you DM me, I can probably get you on some guest lists as well. I can try anyways. It depends on the club and my relationship with the club, but usually I can make it happen for you. But don't forget, this is a 2-drink minimum, guys. Always a 2-drink minimum at the comedy club. 2 drinks, guys. 2 drinks. Anyways, appreciate all of you. If you would like to support the show, please check out my website, weirdafnews.com. On the homepage, you can make a PayPal donation by clicking on the PayPal icon. You can buy Jonesy a cup of coffee by clicking on the coffee cup, or you can join the Patreon by clicking on the Patreon banner. These are all ways in which you can support the show. If you decide to do so, I would be very, very grateful. Nonetheless, I hope you have an amazing weekend, or you had one, or you're about to have one. And good luck with your life, man!